Ford is one manufacturer from 90s who were able to keep a good momentum in Indian car industry. With the introduction of Ford Escort, they were able to make a good foundation and they built up a good structure in India. Of course, they had their own shortcomings and shortfalls, but they were able to bring back the momentum and they had the right kind of product in the right time. One such product is the Ford Aspire, and we are having the facelifted variant today for drive. So welcome to the FlyWheel review of the all-new Ford Aspire. With the new Aspire, they introduced a new engine which we have seen in the Ford Freestyle. It's a 1.2 liter 3-cylinder petrol engine with an output of 96 PS and 120 Nm of torque. Apart from that, there are two more engines available. One is again a petrol, it's a 1.5 liter with an output of 123 PS and 150 Nm of torque. Apart from that, there's a diesel powertrain which again been continued from the pre-facelifted. It's a 1.5 liter with an output of 100 PS and 215 Nm of torque. So what I'm driving now is the new petrol variant. We are driving both the cars, the petrol and diesel. Yesterday I driven the diesel, and day 2 I'm driving the new petrol. This is red car. Both this petrol and diesel is fitted with a 5-speed manual gearbox, but on the 1.5 liter petrol there's an option of 6-speed automatic available in the top end variant. One thing which grabbed my attention is the refinement of both this powertrain. Both the diesel and petrol has got a good refinement. Petrol is claimed to have a fuel efficiency of 20.5 km per liter and diesel is having a whopping 26 km per liter. Of course, the diesel is having the advantage of a higher torque and it was having a very punchy drive, and that could be my pick among these two powertrains. When the Aspire was first introduced in 2015, they had kept a good driving dynamics for the car, which has been retained with here. And there's a slight improvement on suspension refinement and comfort part. It can be reflected especially in these kind of roads of Rajasthan. Steering is also having a good feedback, which is again good for your daily commute. It's softer and easily judgeable, especially when it's in a safety condition. And on a highway also, you are getting enough confidence while you are driving on a higher speed. One attractive part of Aspire when it was launched was its exterior design. So let's pull out and check out how well Ford has maintained that with this facelift. When Ford introduced the Aspire in 2015, they had bring some of their international design cues to India with the introduction of this car, and it was been well accepted, and we had seen that been continued in the figure hatchback as well. But they had to retain that likeness in the mind of those people who already loved the car. So they done a minor facelift for the car. And first of the changes you can see is in the front with the diamond studded kind of a grille treatment. It's look very neat and attractive. There's a change on the bumper with a running C kind of a chrome strip, and a lip has been added to the bumper, so it look more sportier. There's a power hum which was earlier, so that's been retained, and the headlight is also retained the same way. On side profile there is no much change, it has been retained as such, but the proportion is good. You can see a new alloy wheel design, which is a 15-inch alloy, look attractive with multi-sport. There's a big side view mirror which also has been carried from pre-facelift model. There's a strong powerful character line or shoulder line which is dominated on the side profile, and a mild dynamic line can be seen at the bottom. And coming on to the rear, I had to say the proportion really matters, and it's been retained very well with the 3-box design. So it's been continued with the small boot. But changes on the rear is basically the bumper, which has got again a spotty treatment with a air vent kind of a treatment over here, and the line has been continued. So there's a slight change in the cluster of the tail light, which has been a very mild one. We won't realize it unless we compare it with the older car. And boot has been retained the same way. So with the design, Ford has retained that 3-box kind of a design. for sedan, because there are still a lot of sedan lovers in India and all over the world. So Ford is one company who has the heritage of making the oldest sedans. So they still maintain that sedan proposition for Indian customers. So once you get back into the car, one thing which attracts you is the utility part, which has been given a lot of emphasis while developing the interior. You can see a lot of storage available here in this interior. There is space in the door pad. This bottle can be kept here. There is 2 cup holders here. There's a bigger glove box. There are some smart elements like the phone stand over here. You can keep your smartphone over here, and there is 2 USB and 1 12-volt charging points also that is easily accessible from here. But when you come to the changes, you can see no much changes coming into the interior because already accepted interior, well proportioned, well economically designed. So there wasn't need for major changes. But there's a new infotainment system. There's a touch screen which is available throughout the variants, and the new Sync 3 is much more usable. The graphic level is good. There's a better reverse camera now with the marking, and it's very useful. And the Sync 3 can connect Apple CarPlay and Android Auto because we all are very connected with our phones. And the new instrument console is also good. It's got a blue treatment which is the identity of Ford, and graphic is also neat. Apart from that, the old steering is still good. It's optimum size. It's a handy steering, ergonomically designed. The switches are laid out in a very good way. The color combination is also good, the black and beige color. Even though I'm not very fan of beige color, most of Indian customers would love to have a beige color, even though it's hard to maintain in India. But the color combinations are good in this car. So feel-good factors are a lot in this car. There's a roomy interior, huge, the big windows, seats are crafted well, good support both on side, backrest, and the driver's seat height can also be adjusted, and rear is also good for this kind of a car. Altogether, I think Ford has played a good game by introducing this facelifted variant, retaining the lacking factors and improving some of the elements which make the next customers feel good. They also have introduced some attractive service pack which is good for the customers. The value factor or ownership experience will be much better than earlier. Ford has learned a lot from the mistake, and this was the car which has introduced after improving all the aspects, and this has been continued, and I think Ford can keep that momentum which they have placed in Indian market with the Aspire.